Good evening all. Today our class is about cubital fossa. Before starting the class, please subscribe to our channel, share with your friends and classmates. Today our class is about cubital fossa, most important for 5 marks question in the paper 1 of upper limb. It is most important for 5 marks question. 5 marks. Frequently asked questions for every consecutive 2 papers, for every 2 papers. Now coming to the point, see in the cubital fossa, we are going to study about its features and boundaries and roof of the cubital fossa, floor of the cubital fossa and contents, and at last clinical anatomy. Okay, features, boundaries, roof, floor, contents and clinical anatomy. These are the topics we are going to study in this today. See, coming to the features. See, features, the cubital fossa is triangular hollow. Okay, it is triangular shaped. That means either this triangle or maybe this triangle. Just we know that it is triangular shape. Okay, it is situated on the front of elbow. So it is placed at the elbow. Think that it is the elbow and it is the triangular shape. Okay, I already told in the previous classes, in the triangle, if the triangle is if it is the triangle, and here where the 2 points meet is called apex, and here where the 2 points are separated by another point is called base. Okay, it is apex and it is base. Or if it is the triangle, it is apex and it is base. Okay, remember that. It will be useful for the entire anatomy classes. Now we have completed the features. Now coming to the boundaries of the triangle. See, in the cubital fossa, we will have the triangle is in this way. Okay, this is the triangle of cubital fossa. Next, coming to the point, and think that it is the lateral side and it is the medial side. It is the lateral and it is the medial. Next, coming to the point, see, at the lateral side there is a brachialis. Okay, brachioradialis muscle. Okay, here we can see a muscle that is called brachioradialis muscle. At the lateral side, see, here it is the lateral border of brachioradialis and it is the medial border of brachioradialis. So in the lateral side, the triangle is related to the medial border of brachioradialis, and coming to the medial side, here we can see the pronator teres muscle here. It is the pronator teres muscle. See, the medial border of pronator teres muscle at the medial side. Next, coming to the base. Here is the base. It is the imaginary line joining from 2 epicondyles of the humerus. It is the humerus. It is lateral epicondyle and it is the medial epicondyle. It is the humerus. It is the medial epicondyle, it is the lateral epicondyle. It is the imaginary line joining between the 2 epicondyles. Okay, it is the base. And now coming to the apex, and here is the apex. Now coming to the apex, see, brachioradialis crosses the pronator teres muscle. See, it is the pronator teres. At here, brachioradialis muscle crosses the pronator teres muscle like this. It is the apex. Okay, these are the boundaries that belongs to the cubital fossa. Next, coming to the roof of the cubital fossa. Coming to the roof of cubital fossa. See, roof means this is the triangle of cubital fossa. Roof means at above. See, at first we can see skin. Next, superficial fascia. In the superficial fascia, the cubital fossa contains median nerve, median cubital vein. Okay, so in the superficial fascia, the cubital fossa contains median cubital vein joining cephalic vein and basilic vein. Cephalic vein and basilic vein. See, this cephalic vein, it moves along with the cutaneous nerve of forearm. And basilic fossa, see, basilic vein, this vein lies along the medial cutaneous nerve of forearm. It is the lateral cutaneous nerve of forearm. This is cephalic vein. Basilic vein lies along with medial cutaneous fossa of forearm. Next, deep fascia, skin, superficial fascia, deep fascia, and at last bicipital aponeurosis. At last bicipital aponeurosis. So the roof contains 4 parts: skin, superficial fascia, deep fascia, and bicipital aponeurosis. Now coming to the floor of cubital fossa. See this floor. Floor means at below the triangle. At below, floor contains brachialis. Floor contains brachialis muscle and supinator muscle. Brachialis and supinator muscle. These two belongs to the floor of cubital fossa. Lies in the floor of cubital fossa. Next, coming to the contents, most important part in the cubital fossa. See in the content, there is a mnemonic of M, B, B, R. Okay, it is from the medial side to the lateral side. MBBR, it is from the medial side to the lateral side. Medial to lateral, that means M is for medial nerve, and B is for brachial artery, another B is for biceps brachii, and R is for radial nerve. See, remember that M is for medial nerve. Medial nerve is at medial side, and radial nerve, radius is present at lateral side. So radial nerve is present at lateral side. So remaining is in between that. So it is from medial to lateral. And now coming to the point, this is the imaginary line. That means the base of the cubital fossa. That because the cubital fossa is triangular area, halo area. This is the lateral side, and it is the medial side of the cubital fossa. It is the medial side. It is the lateral side of cubital fossa. Coming to the point, the first content is median nerve. The first content is median nerve. This is the median nerve. This is median nerve. And this median nerve gives branches to, see this median nerve. This median nerve gives branches to flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, flexor digitorum superficialis. Okay, flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, and flexor digitorum superficialis. This is the first content. And now coming to the brachial artery. And here is the brachial artery. See, in the brachial artery, these in the triangle, the terminal part of brachial artery. Okay, that means at the end of brachial artery, the terminal part of brachial artery and the radial nerve and ulnar nerve. Okay, the terminal part of brachial artery, it divides under radial nerve and ulnar nerve. These two nerves are present. These three are present in the brachial artery. Okay, next coming to the point, see this radial artery is smaller and more superficial than ulnar artery. That means it is more superficial than ulnar. Next, okay, this is radial artery is smaller. This is radial artery. It is smaller and more superficial than ulnar artery. This is ulnar artery. This is brachial artery. Okay, next ulnar artery. See, ulnar artery goes deep between two heads of pronator teres. That means here we can see the pronator teres here. Here we can see the pronator teres. Here is the deep head of pronator teres, and here is the superficial head of pronator teres. This is the superficial head of pronator teres. This is the deep head of pronator teres. Okay, these radial ulnar artery goes in between the two heads of pronator teres. That means deep head and superficial head. Next, the ulnar artery is separated from median nerve by deep head. See, this is the median nerve. The ulnar artery is separated from median nerve. Ulnar artery does not connect with the median nerve because these two are separated from deep head. This is the deep head of pronator teres. So this deep head of pronator teres separates the ulnar nerve with the median nerve. Okay, this is the point that belongs to the ulnar nerve. Next, coming to the third one, biceps brachii. Coming to the third one, tendon of biceps brachii. This is the tendon of biceps brachii. This is the tendon of biceps brachii. I am thickening with red color. Next, and there is no important point for this tendon of biceps brachii. Only name is itself enough. Tendon of biceps brachii. Next, coming to the fourth one, radial nerve. Now coming to the fourth one, radial nerve. See, it is radial artery, and here it is radial nerve. Radial nerve is different from the radial artery. Here is the radial artery. This is the radial nerve. Radial nerve is different from radial artery. Radial nerve. Okay. Next, in the radial nerve, see, it descends medial to the lateral epicondyle. That means here is the lateral epicondyle, and it descends from. That means it arises from the medial side of. It is the lateral epicondyle. It arises from the medial side of lateral epicondyle. Okay, this is first point. And the next point, in the fossa, it gives off posterior interosseous nerves. See, this radial nerve gives off posterior interosseous nerve or deep branches of radial nerve. Okay, next thing, it leaves the fossa by piercing the supinator muscle. That means it leaves the fossa. That means the entire triangle is called the cubital fossa. It leaves the fossa by piercing the supinator muscle. By piercing the supinator muscle. Like this. Okay. Next, this is all about the radial nerve. See, radial nerve arises from the medial side of the lateral epicondyle, and it pierces from the supinator muscle. It pierces the supinator muscle and comes out from the cubital fossa. It gives off to posterior interosseous nerve. Okay, next, this is all about the contents of cubital fossa, and contents are very important in the cubital fossa. Its mnemonic is MBBR, from medial to the lateral. Now coming to the clinical anatomy. See, clinical anatomy is very important. The main, only one point it has. The main point of the cubital clinical anatomy of cubital fossa is median cubital vein. See, median cubital vein, it is the choice for intravenous injections. Okay. See, while we are injecting some vein injections to the veins, the place where we are injecting the injecting the medicine to the vein is cubital fossa. Okay, in that we are injecting to the median cubital vein. Median cubital vein, just for intravenous injections. Simply, the clinical anatomy is intravenous injections of median cubital vein is placed at the cubital fossa. Thank you all. We will meet tomorrow again.